Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and of course we are currently waiting to see the upcoming Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct, which will detail information about the next major update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. And given the fact that it is getting its own entire Direct, it means we're in for some pretty big news, as Nintendo doesn't reserve Directs for just small information like we've seen in the past few months. Of course, we know that the Roost is finally returning to Animal Crossing New Horizons after months and months of speculation and discussions. However, what else should we expect from the big Animal Crossing update that we're going to be seeing in November? Well, I'm going to take a look at some of the things that we definitely could see in this upcoming update. We'll be looking at evidence that we've seen from data mines, just like we did with the Roost, and more. So let's jump right into this and go over all the information that you need to know. So of course we know now that the Roost is coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons in the November update. This is actually something that was data mined very early on into the life of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and in the past few months we've seen more and more evidence that the Roost was going to come. Of course, a lot of people weren't sure about this because it had been a while since we'd seen anything from the data mines actually make it to the finalized game. But now that we know the Roost is coming based on these data mines and based on Nintendo's reveal trailer, I think it's safe to say that some other things we've seen within the data mines of Animal Crossing New Horizons could also finally be making it to the game in this latest update. As I mentioned, Nintendo don't reserve Directs for small little updates with their games. They only do Directs when they have a lot to say. We know that the Direct will be at least 10 minutes long, they've never done a Direct shorter than that, so we can assume that we'll be getting a lot of information about what features to expect within this latest update, and I can't imagine them dedicating 10 minutes just to showing off the Roost. I'm sure there will be some cool things to show off here, but I sincerely doubt they could spread it that long. I think they'll have to go over other information about new features that we can expect to see. Based on the fact that the Roost and Brewster is returning, it seems incredibly likely that Gyroids will return as well, a beloved collectible feature from the past Animal Crossing games. If you don't know what Gyroids are, they're basically an item that you would dig up after it rains around your town or island, and they came in a bunch of different varieties, sizes, and they'd all make a bunch of really cute different little sound effects. They were effectively just collectibles, but they're tied to Brewster because he actually loves them. Brewster is a huge Gyroid collector and fan. In fact, he even gives you his own Gyroids to collect in Animal Crossing New Leaf. Therefore, I can't imagine one coming without the other. We have also seen evidence in the code of the game that Gyroids will be making a return, so it does seem very likely to me that this would be the update we finally see them in. And if somehow it's not, I definitely do think they will be coming back at some point in the future. Either way though, I would really love to see Gyroids return, and I hope there's a bit more to them this time. I think it'd be fantastic if you could actually donate them to Brewster maybe, and that could be some kind of new goal you would have in the game to do every day. After all, Animal Crossing New Horizons really needs more daily activities, and I think looking out for all the different kinds of Gyroids, maybe having your own Gyroid encyclopedia and collection page, or some kind of goals you need to donate the Gyroids to, would give players a reason to check in every day, especially when it rains, so they could make sure they collect every single one. It's stuff like this that would keep people playing. Even with a sort of update drought, there'd be more reasons to log on every day, which is something the game definitely lacks right now. So Gyroids could honestly be a really great update. I feel like collecting fossils is a nice goal every day, but when you add Gyroids to that as well, it's really exciting, and I'm pretty sure we will see them come sometime soon. Now, a big one is, will we finally see an upgrade for Nook's Cranny now that the museum is getting another upgrade? Well, I definitely think this would be a great time to see an upgrade. I won't say I'm super confident on this one, because I feel like the evidence in the code of the game isn't quite strong enough to suggest that we will see an upgrade for Nook's Cranny soon, but Nintendo is really good at hiding stuff within their code, and I'm sure this Direct will have plenty of surprises. This would definitely be a very welcome one in my opinion. Maybe even if Nook's Cranny didn't get some kind of crazy Nookingtons upgrade like we saw in the past games, it could just get more items, or even just a different variety of items to make it a bit more exciting. Now, one thing that is worth noting is that the upgraded version of Nook's Cranny definitely does have the space to upgrade. If you look around the edges of Nook's Cranny, you'll notice that there's a ton of empty space, and I don't think that is a coincidence. Given the fact that the original Nook's Cranny and also the Museum tent had a ton of empty space around the edges and that was used in their upgraded versions, it really wouldn't surprise me if this has kind of been a little hint all along that we are going to see some kind of upgrade. And if there was any update that was going to bring us a major upgrade for Nook's Cranny, I'd expect to see it in the Direct for the game rather than some kind of update later on. This would be absolutely fantastic. In terms of goals, it would give players another goal to work towards. And I think if you restarted your island from scratch, which I'm sure a lot of people will do when we get this big update, you'd be having so much more to do in the game because you'd have to unlock all these different buildings and the different stages again. I'm actually really half tempted to do that myself, but I did make a new island recently, so I probably won't do that. And I also do love Kokomo too much to let it go, so I'm sure I'll just work on upgrading the Nook's Cranny currently on my island. Quality of life upgrades are definitely one that's going to be on a lot of people's mind, and I would be very shocked if we didn't see a single quality of life upgrade within this latest update. Now, I wouldn't like to say which ones we'll get exactly. I do think stuff like bulk crafting could be on the table, but I also kind of feel like maybe Nintendo doesn't want to add that for some reason, which is strange, but we can't always make heads or tails of Nintendo's logic when it comes to changing the game. However, I definitely do think we will finally see fence customization, which is something that was data mined a few months ago, along when we started to see more updates appear for the Roost in the game's code. Fence customization would be absolutely fantastic, and it would just help make islands feel even more unique overall, which would be really great. I just love having variety in this game, and I always feel like there's more potential for variety when it comes to customization, so I really would love to see this. But I do feel like there's a lot they could do in terms of quality of life. I know there's so many that people have wanted to see and have discussed and mocked up online, so I'm really hoping we will see some major quality of life updates. There's also many miscellaneous things in the game's code that I definitely think we could see this time around. A really good one that I'd love to see is actually more vegetables that you can farm, and this really would be the perfect time to add them, because of course Turkey Day is coming up in November when this update will actually launch, and it's safe to say the update will launch before Turkey Day because it's currently not programmed into the game, so this update will actually need to do that. Therefore, I think it'd be a perfect time to add in more vegetables to kind of change up the event, add a few more goals to it, and just give people more variety once again, something that we sorely need in Animal Crossing New Horizons. There were vegetables data mined, of course. I'm sure you all know about this already, and I can't imagine Nintendo added them in just for no reason. It's been a year since we've gotten pumpkins and we've been stuck with just those, so I think it's finally time we got more vegetables. It'd be great if they did actually add more improvements to the kind of farming system, but I'll take more vegetables if that's what they want to do. Another thing that I definitely think we could finally see is villagers visiting our houses, which is another thing that was data mined quite a while ago, and something that a modder in the game even managed to mod in, which showed that Nintendo had done a lot of work on this feature, but never added it for some reason. But what features do you guys think we're going to see in the next big Animal Crossing New Horizons update? And are you excited for the Direct? I'm guessing the answer to that is going to be yes for everyone, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we could see. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. If you want to help support me and my channel, click the join button down below the video or the link in the description to become a channel member. You can get a whole bunch of really cool perks for doing so, such as exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, exclusive content and posts, and so much more, so be sure to check that out.